Hello, welcome to Wasted Lunch, a perfect place to waste your lunch. I'm Paul McVeigh, and it is Monday again. The start of a new week, the start of new dreams, new hopes, new visions. Okay, it's the day of the week that a lot of people dread, right? It's the beginning of the whole dang week. Unless you got a job you love. If you got a job you love, then I guess it's a good thing, you know. Mondays. Where in the heck? You know what I don't love? Is how I just misplaced my smokes. That's not cool. You guys might have to go on a search with me. Let's see, right? There we go. Okay. Can't do a show without my nicotine, right? See, it looks like Dave Witt's on here. What's up, David? How we doing? Whew. Burn up. Sweaty. Just did my routine there, you know, my exercise stuff, and now I'm wearing a beaver fur hat. I said, yeah, I got a beaver on my head. Not on my face, mind you, but on my head. Dave went and says, good, you? I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. It's Monday. Time to do wasted lunch again, so that's cool. I kind of, on the weekend, I mean, it's kind of nice sometimes to have a little break, but then I get a yearning to be on live, so. David put LMFAO, Paul. Is that about the beaver comment? Yeah. There was an old trucker song. I got a beaver on my lap and a bear on my tail. I remember that. I got that one time. I bought a Honda Goldwing. I can't remember what year it is now. That's sad, isn't it? Can't remember what year that was. 98, maybe? 95? Dave says, yep, that's what you were laughing about. And it came with a bunch of cassette tapes, and some of them were trucker tapes, and that one of those trucker tapes had this song, Beaver on My Lap and a Bear on My Tail, I think it was, and it was pretty funny. Dave says, how about the one with the skeeter on my Peter? Yeah, oh yeah, I remember that old rhyme. I'm just realizing my daughter just woke up, so it's like I gotta speak cryptically now, right? I can't go full bore with my language now. I try to at least, well, I try to do my best to, keep it under control. Let's see. Dave says, I remember your dad used to say that. Oh, yeah? Yeah, that was, speaking of motorcycles, there's a guy who liked motorcycles, right? My dad. Dad loved his bikes. Loved speed. You know, fast cars and fast bikes. And, I miss him a lot. He's an awesome guy. Awesome dude. But that's where I would have never rode a bike had it not been for my dad. Let's see, Dave says, I used to race motocross quads. Oh, cool. Cool. Well, Dave, you grew up in the country, which you grew up in a great area. I remember going and visiting David's place. From what I remember, your family seemed like a bunch of them lived on the same road. Okay. I could be wrong. Maybe my memories are false. But a bunch of your family had houses along the same road. I think your grandparents and you guys and your aunt and uncle. But great area where you guys lived. Okay. Dave says, remember my dad used to be a pro rider. No kidding. That's cool. That's cool. Now, be honest with you, unfortunately for me, I didn't grow up dirt biking or four-wheeling, okay? I did not grow up with that. grew up in town. I'm not saying that's the only blame for it. Okay. Dave says, yep, still on Kepler Road. Okay. I remember there was a pond around there, too. We used to play on it when it froze up. That was really cool. Good morning, darling. All right, well, listen up. You got to play in the living room, babe. Because, no offense, but I really don't want to hear your Minecraft. I don't need any soundtrack music. All right, babe? Are you even listening to me? All right, so they're still there on Kepler Road, and that's awesome. Okay. All right, well, you got to take that in the other room, babe.
No, down.
Oh, you're down? Okay.
Look.
You're keeping it down? Okay. All right. Well, no. I feel like I'm having to live according to the Hays Code, you know, from back in the old movie days when they had to be careful what they talked about and showed on the movies. So my daughter's now off to the side, and I'm like, oh man, gotta be careful what I say. Why don't you go sit on the couch where you'll be nice and comfy, all right?
I had Bluey.
Bluebee's on there? Why don't you go sit on the leather chair out there where it's even more luxurious?
Try.
They put LOL. Yeah, why don't you try that? Pull that footstool up. You can be like Queen of Egypt there, right?
What?
Yeah, you can have your feet up and be nice and comfortable. You know? Relaxed. Got your tablet and you're chilling out. And then when your tablet... Can you make sure Paul's is unplugged? That little booger might have plugged his in and left it plugged in. Tablets. He did?
For me.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull off.
Well, make sure his isn't plugged in, please. A little technical talk here, guys and gals. But, yeah, you guys grew up in a great place. I didn't have dirt bikes and four-wheelers when I was a kid. It's probably better that I didn't. I probably wouldn't be here doing this right now, you know, if I would have had a four-wheeler. Because I always had a way of pushing it a little too far. Well, unplug it, baby.
Why?
So it doesn't overcharge or whatever them tablets do. I don't know what the hell them tablets do. Metro Billy, that is what I am. Remember that. Not up to date with all this high-tech shit. Let's see. David says, remember your parents always made, my parents made us go to church. Yes. We're forced to go to church. Definitely. I didn't have any choice in that. And a guy like my dad, you didn't argue with. I seen some kids growing up gripe and whine at their dads and stuff like that. And that wouldn't have worked in growing up in my house. I love my dad. My dad could be a very gentle person until we disobeyed him. Then you'd see one of those big red hands come at you, and it was over with. You were done. You were dead. Dave says no games for us. Yeah. I didn't do a lot of gaming, video gaming stuff growing up either. Spent most of the time outside. You know, and I say I grew up in town, but I grew up in a beautiful part of town near the outskirts of the city, and there were plenty of woods behind my house, and that's where I spent most of my time playing out there by myself or with my friends. A lot of times with my buddies, Scott Harwig and other people, and we'd clear spots in the woods and build teepees and huts. Dave says, I worked on a farm. What'd you do? Did you milk cows or something? Did you kill chickens? What'd you do out on the farm? What kind of stuff? See, like I said, you know, I mean, I had the best of both worlds in a way. Now, I didn't have a four-wheeler or a dirt bike or any of that good stuff. Did you see how I caught myself? I'm trying to keep myself from saying shit. Turned it into stuff. Okay. Dave says, oh yes. So you milk cows. Never made a mistake and ended up milking a bull, did you, David? Hope not. David says, baled hay too. Damn. You was a farm boy. Farm boy. I didn't do that, but got plenty of exercise out in the woods building huts and stuff. Okay, Dave says no. Okay, never milked a bull. That's good. That's good. Yeah, but damn, did a lot of outside activities, cutting down trees and building huts and stuff like that. I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything. I had a great childhood. I'll admit it. I had a great one. Jimmy's joining us. Jimmy Lawson, what up, dog? What up, dude? Let's see. David, you're still working on a farm, huh? Damn. Jimmy says, good day, sir. Good day to you, too. Sir, I hope it's fantastic. I hope this day finds you well. I'm noticing all kinds of new shit in the background behind me. Dave says, yep. What's this? A roll of wallpaper. Man. Maybe one of these days I will get fancy, guys. Just throw up a big backdrop curtain or something. But that day is not today. Jimmy, David's on here. He worked on a farm, still works on a farm. Something that I have never done. And Jimmy's a guy who makes money using his hands too. Jimmy does a lot of tile stuff. I don't know what else you do though, Jimmy. I've just heard you talk about it. Tiling the hell out of stuff. I got a question. Anybody ever hear of Elizabeth Bathory? The Bloody Countess. Anybody ever hear of her? I can't remember. I was reading about her. And did you ever hear about her? The lady who killed young ladies and bathed in their blood. I was just reading about that not that long ago. Let's see. Jimmy says not too much so. Home with a migraine. Ouch. Which regularly would be a bad thing, but the whole tile crew is off sick as well. Damn. So they're all sick. You got a migraine, which I, knock on wood, have never had. They sound terrible. Jimmy says the blood countess. Her skin was ever so soft. Yeah. From the stories, it sounds like she believed that the blood of these young, gotta be quiet, virgins, would make her stay young. Would keep her skin nice and supple and keep her from aging. And Jimmy, I'm not sure, or Dave, or whoever, was that in Hungary where that took place, or was it Romania? I can't remember. I think it was Hungary. I'm not sure where she was. Okay. But she ended up killing like hundreds of girls. And, bathing in their blood. And then I guess her fate was being walled up. They walled her up alive. Put her in a wall. Built a wall around her. And I guess they'd feed her. And that's where she died, inside of a wall. Sounds like a bad way to go, but I mean, then again, look what she did, yeah. Wish I could find it. Didn't really think about it too much for the show. Okay, the Bloody Countess, let's see. One of the oldest and most influential bloodlines in Hungary. Wow, this bitch, yeah, she was crazy. I did find it finally in this book I was reading. But I guess she would beat her victims with a club until they were scarcely recognizable. Here we go. She had a spiked iron cage specially built would place a girl within it, shaking the cage as the individual bounced from side to side and was impaled over and over on the spikes. She drove pins into lips and breasts, held flames to pubic regions, and once pulled a girl's mouth open so forcefully that the girl's cheeks split. Damn! There were allegations of vampirism and cannibalism because she was biting her victims, tearing off the flesh with her bare teeth. I guess she was too sick on her bed one time. She couldn't even move, so she had a peasant girl brought to her so she could bite chunks out of her on her face and all over her body. Said her chambers had to be covered, the floors had to be covered with fresh cinders daily to prevent the countess from slipping on the bloody floor. Wow. It's horrible. Horrible stuff. Yeah, I'm reading about it, of course. Let's see, Jimmy says, by the way, I blame you, Paul, for even knowing who she is. I blame you and that book of yours you brought to class, Deviant, I think it was called that, about Ed Gein. Oh gosh, so you're saying I started something. I planted a dirty, gruesome seed that ended up growing within your mind and taking root and opening up a whole new part of your brain to something horrible. Jimmy says, and yes, I do the work with the hands. Okay, we just got done talking about Elizabeth Bathory. You're talking about working with your hands just now. What do you do with those hands, Jimmy? Let's see, Sean's joining us. What's up, Sean? We're talking about Elizabeth Bathory. I think I'm pronouncing it right. I mean, I don't see how the hell else you're going to pronounce it. Bathory. Bathory. Sounds good to me, right? Blood Bathory is more like it. What a sick, twisted, horrible person. And then Jimmy went ahead to blame me for his warped, morbid curiosity. He says that I started it. Jimmy says you were patient zero for my killer appetite. Okay. Yeah, I guess I've been the ruin of many a person, huh? Maybe. You know, it reminds me of, what you're talking about reminds me of a folk song. It was sang by, the hell was his name, Tom Paxton or Bill Paxton. There's two different Paxtons that are singers. One of them is a folk singer. I think it's Bill Paxton. Sung a song about the thought that went free. Okay? This thought went free, and the people tried to put it in a box and contain it, but it was too late. The thought had already gotten free. People had seen it and kind of absorbed it or whatever, and it was too late. The thought went free. I always thought that was an interesting song. Let's see. Jimmy says she was cool and all, but she can't hang with old Vlad. Vlad the Impaler, right? Let's see. Tom's on here. That would be my cousin Tommy. What up? I hope you're doing great. We're talking about Elizabeth Bathory, the Bloody Countess. But yeah, I don't know. But that's how those thoughts are, right? Once they get out there, they're out there. You know? And some things are just tough to overlook, right? You know, which brings to mind like intrusive thoughts. I've had trouble with them. Here, go ahead. I'll expose myself. Well, not the expose that some of you pervisoids might be thinking, but yeah, I've had trouble with that. I have, and that's a tough one. But that's the way thoughts work. I mean, they get free, and people get a hold of them, and strange things happen. You know, and that same thought, that same bit of information, that intelligence that gets out there, can get to like 10 people. And it might be benign, it might be innocuous to 9 out of those people, but then that 1 out of 10 pardon, or 1 out of 100 people, they take that and it turns into something bad. They act on it in a horrible way, you know. Like Jimmy was talking about and pointing the finger at me, and rightly so, about starting up a morbid curiosity into killers, you know. But now Jimmy's fine. He's an all-American guy, works hard and everything else. But somebody else turned on to that, could have acted on that, and got really carried away with it. Scott says, wasted lunch, biatch. Right on, welcome to the show, dude. Jimmy says, Steve Railsback, I think, played Ed Gein in a low-budget flick. Have you ever seen? No, I have not seen Ed Gein. I haven't seen that movie. I'd like to watch it. Damn right. Talking about Ed Gein. Sean says, why? Why what? Why what, Sean? Need a little more information. Sean put, oops. Sean, of course, is our favorite dude when it comes to typing errors, right, Sean? Sean put some good shit on there. But, yeah, I'd like to see that, Sean. You know what's funny about old Steve Railsback is he is an incredible actor. He is. Now, I have a movie with him. It's a low budget. I think it's a New Zealand or Australian-made movie. You know, I can't tell the difference. I'm American. What's the difference between those two, right? Islands. And it's called Escape 2000. One of the names for the movie is Turkey Shoot. Okay? And it's set in the future. And the people who don't go along with what the government tells them to think and do end up being detained and put in a rehabilitation camp. Okay? To be mentally changed. Into being docile and conformist to what the government wants. And Steve Railsback stars in it. And it's a movie way below his potential and acting prowess. Okay. Okay, Jimmy agrees. Yes, he is. And Jimmy said, why ask why? Exactly. But Steve Railsback played in that movie Helter Skelter as Charles Manson. Did a fantastic job, in my opinion. Very convincing with the level of wackiness he brought to the character. I mean, it was, you know, you see interviews of Charles Manson and stuff like that, and then you see Steve Railsback playing him, and it's like, wow. I mean, he really seems like he's that dude. But that movie, Escape 2000, okay, these people are put in this rehabilitation, retraining center. And then a handful of them are selected for this game called a turkey shoot, to where they are hunted down by these rich, snotty, powerful people. Okay? It's a human hunt. And if they escape with their lives, they're free. They're free to go. And of course, this camp is horrible and, you know, torturous and terrible, you know. But it's a funny movie. There's a guy in there who's like half ape and stuff. And it's crazy, wacky. Escape 2000, also known as Turkey Shoot, is the name of the movie. Let's see. Sean says, get your druid uniforms ready. Is that an ethnic crack? Is that a racist remark about my people? Making fun of me for being Jewish. Jimmy says, for what it's worth, so is Sid Haig, Captain Spaulding. He doesn't get much credit for his work either for some reason. Yeah, he's always just a thug, you know. He's big, he's kind of scary looking. Let's just make him a thug. It stinks. Josh says, hi. I'll say hello to you too, Josh. I hope you're doing good. Mr. Spear? Yes, you may play a game, darling. And there. With that, now my daughter's playing a video game. So I wasn't running my mouth about all that bad stuff while she was around. Just to let you know. That's for you people who are like, Paul, you dirty such and such. See, Jimmy says, sounds like Surviving the Game. At least I think that's what it was called. Ice-T was in it. I do know that. You know what? Thank you, Jimmy, because I think you provided me the movie title for a movie that somebody talked to me about at a place I worked at for years ago about it, and I never watched it. I think that's a movie. Josh says, finally, you let the kids play video games. Yeah, Josh thinks I am a tyrant when it comes to fun here. Jimmy says, or even a little like Battle Royale. Yeah, which, of course, they took the Battle Royale story and redid it, only they put honkies in it, and then they had, the Hunger Games, pretty much. Which, not the first time a Japanese movie's been ripped off, do that a lot, like Seven Samurai got ripped off 20 million times. Sean says, hi, Jimmy. Seven Samurai's been redone with cowboys, people in space. Hell, it was even done with insects in A Bug's Life. Yeah. Seven Samurai, Akira Kurosawa's masterpiece, got remade with a bunch of friggin' insects. Just says Running Man was badass. Yeah. Running Man, yeah. That's another good one. And, usually the future is not depicted very damn good. Jimmy says, yes, Hunger Games blows. I never watched it, to be honest with you. I had a daughter who was real into it, and she's into Japanese cinema. Or not Japanese cinema, that's not what I was getting at. She was totally thrilled with it, and I'm like, you know what that is? That's a ripoff of Battle Royale. Well, what's that? It's a Japanese movie that was made, 20 years or whatever before that. They totally ripped it off. She didn't like hearing that shit. Josh says the book tons better than the movie. Okay, Running Man. Okay. Jimmy says Old Boy. Asian. Yeah, I used the air quotes. Old Boy, Asian version, is the bomb. I have never seen Old Boy. I want to see that movie, to be honest with you. Another movie I want to see, another Asiatic movie, is Gunhead. Never seen that either. Jess says, Deep Throat, Debbie was good too. Okay. Nice. Notice how my tone changed. Notice how I went from big and loud to quiet, Let's see, Jimmy's responding to you. Sean says, good day, sir. Yeah, one of these days, we need to have, I don't know how the hell we do it. Have like a wasted lunch, round discussions at the round table, or octagonal table, or oval-shaped table. Have something like that one of these days. I don't know. Of course, you guys know one of my goals is to have a show with extra cameras. Wouldn't that be awesome? See, Jimmy says, Gojo Bridge. Never even heard of it, dude. Jimmy says, watch that shit, bro. Okay. Gojo Bridge. Where's my pen? Where's my pencil? Where is my pen and pencil? Josh says, I'm in for round table. Dude, it would be fun. It'd be a lot of fun. And I think it'd be a lot of funny, too. Really. I think it'd be a blast. I think it'd be great. A bunch of coffee, pop, tea, whatever your drink is. Sitting at the table, decent microphone to catch everybody talking, and that'd be fun. And, just a BS session, but I could have, like, cards, like little topic starter things. We could all be talking about something, and then whammo, I pull one of these out, and then hopefully it'll be a sort of uncomfortable topic. Not that there really is such a thing here, Jimmy says Kurosawa's Hidden Fortress is where Star Wars came from. No shit. And I don't doubt it, dude. I don't doubt it at all. I mean, that movie, that dude, I haven't seen Hidden Fortress, but I mean, he has inspired a lot of shit. A lot of shit. I'll tell you some movies, and maybe they aren't on such a grand scope as a lot of Kurosawa's movies, that I have liked were the Lone Wolf and Cub movies about the samurai dude and his little toddler boy. Man, this samurai dude is an ass kicker. I mean, he's badass. Lone Wolf and Cub is the name of the series. I think somebody took some of the movies and chopped them up and glued them together and made a movie. I don't know if it was called Shogun's Ninja. I'm not sure, but took bits and pieces of different movies and glued them all together. But I've never seen that one. I've just seen the different Lone Wolf and Cub movies. I haven't seen all of them, but really badass movies, in my opinion. Really tasty flicks. If you like samurai, fair. Or if you never watch one, it's a good introduction to samurai movies. I don't know, I like samurai movies. Jimmy says, that's my favorite director. He used, oh gosh, I'm going to try this. I'm not sure I'm going to pronounce it right. Toshiro Mifune. I don't know if I got that right, dude. A lot. The dude kills every role from, we're going to try it, Rashomon to Red Bread. Lone Wolf is bad as hell. Okay. I know the Toshiro guy you're talking about. I might not know how the hell to say his name, but I know the dude you're talking about. I can see his intense look right now. I can picture his eyeballs right now. Something about them dudes with them big ass swords, you know, slicing and dicing and shit, and it's like, man, these dudes were dangerous. Jimmy says, original 47 Ronin. You said it right. Okay, I said it right. Yay, got it right. And I'm not even Japanese. I'm not even half Japanese. Another director, I've watched some of his movies. I have not watched all of his movies, okay? I'm not going to pretend I have. Takashi Miike. I think I pronounced his name right. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, then somebody else pronounced it wrong, too. He made a movie called, I think he made The Great Yokai War, which was weird for him because it was more family friendly. Also made a movie called Ichi the Killer. And made a Western movie called something Sukiyaki or something, some Western with Quentin Tarantino in it. How weird is that? Jimmy says my fear of the bomb is good as hell too. Okay, I am going to be re-watching this broadcast now because I don't have my pen and pencil on me. So I'm going to be watching this to try and write down all these damn titles. Jimmy throws out some great movie titles. So I'm going to have to check some of these out. Jimmy says, dude, I could literally sit here and rattle off badass Asian flicks all damn day. Alright, so Jimmy has spent a lot of his life watching some Asiatic flicks. That's cool. Yeah, I have an awesome book. I know books are outdated now, you know. We've moved beyond books, but I have a Video Hound. What is it? I can't remember what it's called. Something Dragon or something. It's Video Hound was a series of books. I don't know if they still make them, but a series of movie guide books. And this one was dedicated to all Asian flicks and had some really good stuff. Jimmy says, if you like Ichi the Killer, then get into Tokyo Shock Cinema. Yes, I have checked them out. I have a few titles with the Tokyo Shock label on them because they've put out quite a few really cool movies on DVD. I'm trying to think. I think perhaps they put out that Versus movie, and I think maybe they did the Yokai War too. I'm not sure though. maybe not. The Great Yokai War, which I tried watching that with my 10-year-old son, and it was a little too intense for him. Because I'm like, dude, if it's too much for you, because it's like PG-13. I'm like, but if it gets too much, you just let me know. And we started watching it, and he's like, Dad, yeah, it's a little too scary. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I ended up throwing in a different Japanese-made movie. And that was the Secret Life of Arietti. Yeah, I went from one extreme to totally soft, which The Secret Life of Arietti, I think it's called that, is it's an anime, if you want to call it that. It's an animated movie, and it is about this little girl, and she is a borrower from the story The Borrowers. That's been remade in different movies about tiny little people living in regular-sized people's walls and borrowing little things from their house. Jimmy says, at one time I had over 400 Asian cinema films on VCR and DVD. Wow. Damn. Jimmy says, Dragon Dynasty puts out some bomb releases. I'm trying to think if any of the stuff I have says Dragon Dynasty on it. I'm not 100% certain. Not 100% certain. But yeah, I do. I like a lot of Asian cinema. A lot of it. You know, from some of the huge budget ones to some of the sleeper, low budget movies. You know, but there's a lot of Asian films that I've enjoyed over the years. Not just kung fu. I mean, they have what some people call gun fu. You know, like the hard boiled and stuff like that in movies with Chow Yun Fat and stuff like that. But I don't know. There's just a whole world of great cinema over there that a lot of people miss out on. It really is. Let's see, Sean, you ever watch any Asian movies? Chinese, Japanese, Thai, anything? You ever get into any of that stuff, Sean? Yeah, there's a lot of good quality films too. You know, I don't know. I mean, and that's the thing. I guess I miss out on a lot of the Hollywood movies. There's a lot of movies made in Hollywood I just have not seen. Don't know about, you know, within the last 20 years that I'm just totally ignorant about. And I'll admit it. So I'm still watching all these, you know, off-the-wall pics from different countries and older stuff from America. Sean says, does The Last Samurai count? I don't know. I mean, that was an American-made movie, right? I never saw The Last Samurai. Once again, wasn't that a Hollywood-made feature? I don't know. Talk about movies made in Asia, I guess, is what I'm talking about here. You know, some of the non-American Jackie Chan movies, which are my favorite of the Jackie Chan movies, to be honest with you. Yeah. Oh, man. There's a lot of good shit out there. Never saw The Last Samurai. Did you enjoy it, Sean? Because I've never seen it. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I still have not had my Kung Fu movie festival. I was thinking about having me and my son, where we watch a couple Kung Fu movies a day if we can, if we have the time. Talked about it, but never done that yet. See me smacking my lips, it's because I got a different kind of coffee than I'm used to having. It's actually French vanilla roast. I'm not complaining. It's just different. I'm not used to it. I'm not going to complain because it was free. My father-in-law gave it to us, so I can't gripe about it. But it's different to me. All right, Jimmy is naming off some classics here. Stuff like the 36th Chamber, Shaolin Temple, The Kid with Golden Arms, ting, ting, ting. I remember that baby. Old Dirty and the Bastard, Legend of Liquid Swords, never heard of that one. The Defender, The Protector, heard of The Protector. Fist of the White Lotus, heard of that. The Enforcer, awesome. Sean says yes. So you did like The Last Samurai, okay. Yeah, I never saw that pic. Yeah, I'm kind of weird, I guess, when I see Americans handling Asian stuff. I get kind of weird. Like, I'm a big Godzilla fan, but some of the American-made Godzilla movies, I'm like, oh dear God, this is terrible. I mean, so I'm weird about that. Now, I'll admit, though, this next Godzilla movie coming out, I do want to see, just for the sake of seeing Godzilla on the big screen. Okay. So I do want to see it, but the Americans' handling of Godzilla has left me not happy before. I'll just put it that way. So I'm a Godzilla fan. I mean, Godzilla is in my heart. Speaking of which, I just heard the Godzilla song on the radio today. Yeah. That's weird. Yeah, I just heard it today. Okay, Sean Cena entered the Dragon. Okay. Which is a Bruce Lee movie, I believe, directed by Robert Klaus. I think I got that right. Which a lot of people think that is like Bruce's best movie, which that's arguable. I can see why a lot of people think that, though. Yeah. I've seen a lot of Thai movies, too. Jimmy says, Jackie Chan, Half a Loaf of Kung Fu. Oh my gosh, that movie's hilarious. Was that the one where he got in the egg fight, started hitting the guy with the eggs? I think the dude had a glued on patch of chest hair. Killer Meteors, yes. Fearless Hyenas, yeah, I remember those movies, baby. Heart of Dragon, yeah, I got that. Got Fearless Hyena. Did have Half a Loaf of Kung Fu. Don't know what happened to it. Secrets of Snake and Crane. That's the best one ever. Yes. Yes, I've seen all those movies. Fantastic. Was Heart of Dragon was, I'm trying to think. That's not the serious one, right? Where Sammo Hung was in it. Is that the one with Sammo in it? And he's like his little brother who's kind of mentally challenged. I can't remember if that's Heart of Dragon or that's something else. I'm not sure. Jimmy says, if you're going to rewatch this, I figured I'd drop a few names for your fest. Thank you, Jimmy. Yes, all excellent movies. Half a Loaf of Kung Fu, though, was so funny. I don't know if you've ever seen it. It was another ridiculous feature. Fantasy Mission Force. Okay. I think Jimmy Wang Yu was in it. Or Jimmy says, yes. Okay. Fantasy Mission Force. That was a pretty crazy movie, too. That's pretty ridiculous, but entertaining, you know. I love the makeup that the Kung Fu movies used to do in like the 70s and early 80s. They put like a big, super fake wart on somebody's face with a hair like this long sticking out, a big black hair sticking out of a wart or a mole. And they'd take a patch of fake fur that like they'd use for a Muppet puppet and glue it on somebody's chest. It was hilarious. See, Jimmy says, Sammo is the man. Yes, he is. Boy, he can move for a chubby guy. Him and Jackie do a couple called Project A. Yes. Project A. Project A, and there's great movies. I don't know if I'm mixing these up. The Project A, Operation Condor, and Armor of God. I don't know if that was the the titles of those movies too. I don't know if that was part of it, but I think it was. Let's see. Jimmy says, Jimmy Wang Yu as a one-armed swordsman. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And he was in a movie that I think the one-armed swordsman was part of one of the titles for it. Because here's the thing for people who don't watch a lot of kung fu movies or Asian flicks, is especially the low-budget ones, is they might have more than one title, right? So, but he was in one, I think it was called Master of the Flying Guillotine, but I think it also had a one-armed swordsman title too. But had this big fight tournament. It was really wacky. And this yoga fighter with like long arms that stretched out, kind of like that. Who the hell was that guy in Street Fighter? Dawson or whatever, with the long stretchy arms. It was crazy. Master of the Flying Guillotine was one of the title versions. Jimmy says Operation Condor has Jackie and Sammo. Yeah. And I love the Lucky Stars movies. Bless you. Which I don't know if Jackie and Sammo were in all of them or not. But the Lucky Stars movies, and one of them, Jackie Chan wasn't in it a whole lot, but Sammo was. Sammo was starring in it. I get my Lucky Stars movies mixed up, but they're humorous. They're comedy movies with kung fu in them. Jimmy says Wang Yu spits an olive seed at a dude and knocked his front tooth out for talking shit to him. One of the best scenes in kung fu. Oh, I'd love it. Love to see that. Knocked out a dude's front with an olive seed. Jimmy says, yes, my Lucky Stars LMA. Oh, great call. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, those are good movies, and I think just about anybody could appreciate the humor in them. The Lucky Stars movies. I mean, they're funny, and not just the big stars, not just Sammo, not just Jackie, but, I mean, the other guys who are part of the comedy troupe, I guess you call them, are good, too. They're funny, too. And, the situations they end up in are really funny, too. They're just, I don't know. And if you're looking for seriousness, though, that's not your kind of movie. I mean, the Lucky Stars movies, you gotta have a sense of humor to watch them and enjoy them. Almost childlike kind of sense of humor. Because if you take it too serious and don't enjoy it, well, guess what? You're being an ass. You're being an asshole. Yeah. Sorry to sound mean, but really, you gotta have a good sense of humor and watch them with kind of like a childlike sense of humor to enjoy them, because there's a lot of slapstick in them. All right, Helen, turn that down, honey. It's too loud, babe. Sounds like there's a war going on in the kitchen. Yeah, Lucky Stars movies are fantastic. I've rewatched, I only have a few of them on DVD, and I have rewatched the hell out of them. They're good stuff. What are you doing? What are you doing? You drinking some milk? Milk does the body good, right? Good for your bones. Let's see that muscle. Let me see one of those muscles. Come on. Hey, show me that bicep, kid. What are you gonna do, run off on me? Little poop head. Kids. Let's see, Jimmy says Tai Chi Zero and Tai Chi Hero, nice rhyme, are pretty good for newer flicks, as well as Ninja Assassin, and I think Netflix or Hulu. Yeah, I don't have Hulu. Been tempted to get it, but I can't, dude. Well, I already got Prime, I've got Netflix, and I'm poor, you know. I really can't afford the shit I get anyways. Oh yeah, got a haircut. Yeah, just chopped my hair off yesterday. I gotta get some more coffee. Let's get some coffee, shall we? It's probably cold now. Like, cold coffee is better than no coffee any day. Let's fill her up. There we go. Fill her up. Get some more coffee. Yeah, I've never seen these Tai Chi movies. I've got some movies with Tai Chi in their titles. I can't remember what they are right now. See, I've got dozens of kung fu movies too. Most of them are pretty low budget, but Sean says you got your robe ready. What are you talking about? Are you talking about that druid stuff again, Sean? Is that what you're talking about? Listen, I've never sacrificed anybody, dude. Don't go blaming that shit on me. Jimmy says Jackie's Little Big Soldier is hilarious too. Really? Dude, I haven't even heard of it. So, thanks for letting me know about that, because I have not even heard of that movie. No shit. Never even heard of it. Jimmy says, Sammo the Magnificent Butcher is a classic. Yes, and I got that. I got it on DVD. I'll tell you, I lucked out one time. It's at Walmart, looking through one of the cheapo bins. Okay, this was years ago. Looking through a cheapo DVD bin, started finding all these Jackie Chan and Sammo movies on DVD. I was like, jackpot, I'm tearing through this big pile of shit, you know, tearing through past all these big Hollywood movie stars shit, and I'm like, I'm looking for gold, baby, you know. That's what I was looking for. I'm like, you know, tossing aside Mel Gibson and Tom Cruise movies and shit, looking for Jackie and Sammo movies. Oh my gosh. Found The Magnificent Butcher, a couple of my Lucky Stars movies, oh my gosh, I found Spooky Encounters, right, where Sammo's in there, ends up running into the undead, and there's black magic, Chinese black magic and stuff going on in it. Good movie. Spooky Encounters. Hilarious. There's zombie kung fu in it, right? And there's Chinese hopping zombies, because traditionally Chinese zombies hop. And just good stuff. Excellent movie. I've watched that one, I don't know how many times. Probably a dozen times. But yeah, I hit gold, dude. Jimmy says that's how I got so many flicks. Blockbuster Videos were shutting down. So was Suncoast Video. Oh gosh, Suncoast had so many great movies. Them guys in Walmart sucked up a lot of my cash. Yeah, dude, Suncoast had a great selection of stuff. And I think they were affiliated with Media Play, which was a fantastic store for people like us who like stuff a little bit out of the mainstream. We had a Media Play up in the Jackson Township area here around Belden Village. They shut it down. My cousin and I would drive all the way to Columbus to go to the Media Play store down there. Save up our money, go all the way to Columbus just to go to the Media Play store. Seriously. Okay, Jimmy says The Adventures of, I'm going to try this, Dr. Y, or we, I'm not sure, is a good one. It's like an Asian Indiana Jones. Sounds good to me, because, you know, those, was it the Operation A movies that were kind of Indiana Jones-ish too? Was it those ones? I mixed those up with, or the Project A, I mixed that up with another series of movies that were kind of Indiana Jones-ish. Jackie was in, I think. Anyways, I like the Asian takes on Indiana Jones movies. I do. Actually, to be honest with you, I like all different takes on the Indiana Jones things. I like low budget movies that kind of steal from Indiana Jones too. So, um, so I like Indiana Jones. So, even the imitators, I like the imitators too. Um, so, yeah, now I've got to rewatch this whole damn show. Thanks to Jimmy throwing all these titles out here. Yeah, Sean, you really, sometime, Sean, if you want to come over and hang out and watch some of these flicks, I got plenty of them. See, Charles Wisniewski is joining us. What up, Charles? How are we doing? Enjoying your day off? Okay, Jimmy says Way sounds the same as Way. W-A-Y. Okay. So, Dr. Way. Okay. Learning all the time, learning all the time. Well, like I said, I like the Indiana Jones imitators, rip-offs, whatever you want to call them. I like them. All right. I dig them. I like movies with people climbing in and out of pyramids or Mayan temples and booby traps and going after treasures and all that kind of stuff, I like that stuff. Sean says, I still want to play Scattergories. Yeah, I'm down for that, man. I'm a Scattergories guy. I haven't played it for ages, though. So I wonder if I still got what it takes to kick ass on Scattergories. I don't know. Maybe I do. But it's been a while. It's been a long damn while. Yeah. I'm telling you, Sean, one of these days, you need to just hang out and you can watch some of these movies we've talked about. I don't have all these ones that Jimmy has, but I got some of them. I've got some pretty good ones. Got some choice ones. See, one time I had a little bit of extra money on me. I went to Media Play. Alright, and I went on a buying binge. I did. I was like a little kid or something. I bought so many Kung Fu flicks. It was ridiculous. I was so irresponsible. I was just going crazy with it. So I just lost my shit for a day or two because I had some money in my hands, burning my pockets, and spent tons of money on all these damn movies, man. It was crazy. That's how I got a lot of them. So, old Media Play got a lot of my loot. Damn it, that was a great store. Best Buy used to be a good store to buy movies when they were new to this area. They had a nice selection of movies. They had a great selection of hard-to-find weird stuff there and Asian movies. And been back there, there's no point in going there anymore for movies is the way I see it. Last time I was there, their DVD selection was shrunk. Because everything's all about online now. Everything's all about selling your shit online. So, there's not a point in going to their store if you ask me. But, wow. Yeah, spent a lot of time watching Chinese movies. Japanese movies. Still, if you get the chance, I know I've mentioned it before, the Killer Elephants movie has a great scene in it. I've mentioned the scene before from the Killer Elephants. I believe it's a Thai-made movie. Lots of martial arts in it. These people were terrorizing people using elephants, tearing up their shit with it. And that, of course, has the elephant penis knockout scene where the guy gets hit in the head, gets thrown into an elephant penis, and gets knocked out by it. And there's even a great sound effect, like a bang sound effect to it. I know I've mentioned it before, but it was so classic, so funny. I've never seen anything like it that I had to mention it once again. I don't think another movie will have an elephant penis knockout. I think that's probably a first and last time they're going to do that for a movie. But, yeah, good stuff. Really good stuff. I'll tell you a lot of movies that I'm seeing on Prime and on Netflix, but I haven't watched them. I'll admit it. There are a lot of Indian-made movies out of India, Bollywood, as they call it sometimes. I have not watched many of these Indian-made films. Anybody out there watch any of these Indian films? Like actually from India? The real Indians? I have not watched many of these movies. I haven't watched them. Well, I haven't watched a lot of the ones I've seen on Netflix or Prime because a lot of them look like romance movies. And I'm usually not in a big romance mood. I'm just not a big romance movie guy. I've watched some, but I don't watch a whole hell of a lot of them. And a lot of these Indian movies I'm seeing are, they look like they're romance flicks. If they were action flicks or horror movies, I'd be all about watching them, but a lot of them look like they're chick flicks, and not a big chick flick watcher. Or else I'd give them a try. How about you, Jimmy? You watch any of these Indian-made movies? Watch anything good out of India? That is one place I'm very lacking in watching movies from. And they've got a huge film industry over there. Huge. But I haven't watched many movies out of there. I just haven't. You know what kind of movies there are now that damn near every country's gotten into are zombie movies. I mean, now every country has tried to put out their own zombie flick. I think Pakistan even has a zombie flick out. I never thought zombies would ever be this popular, but they are. See, Jimmy's saying, I watched a little bit of one where a guy was reincarnated as a fly and gets revenge on the guys that kill him. Whoa. It was really stupid. Those movies are like Disney movies. There's always a song and dance routine. Okay. Alright, so that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird. I'm not a big musical guy. I've watched musicals though. There's been a few I could tolerate and I was alright with. But I'm not a big musical guy. Alright, I'm like a lot of dudes. I get drugged to watch those movies. Get forced to watch them. I'm just not a big musical guy. I like Cannibal the musical. Yeah, weird. Sounds really weird, Jimmy. I'm not big on the song and dance thing. I'll tolerate a lot of older movies from like the 50s and 40s and stuff that have a lot of singing in them because that was an important part of a lot of movies back then. You got to put up with that. Jimmy says a Finnish or Norwegian movie called Dead Snow is friggin' awesome. I've heard of it. I've never watched it. I've heard of Dead Snow, but I've never watched a movie. Is it about zombie Nazis? I don't know. I've heard of the movie, but I've never seen it. But it's got the Jimmy Lawson seal of approval on it, so. Jimmy says, Nazi zombies? You just can't go wrong with that premise. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Nazi zombies are always enjoyable. I don't know what it is about them. I don't know. I don't understand. But, yeah, you're right. You can't go wrong with it. But I've never seen Dead Snow. I'm going to have to check her out. There was a movie called Night of the Zombies about these Nazi zombies, and it actually starred Jamie Gillis, who was more popular for being in pornography films back in the days. But he starred in a zombie movie called Night of the Zombies. There were two different Night of the Zombies movies made back in the 80s. One I actually really like. It's a cheapo Italian movie made by Bruno Mattei. But the movie with the zombie Nazis in it is not that good or enjoyable. But it stars Jamie Gillis. He was a big-time adult film star back in the 70s and 80s. I didn't know that when I watched the movie. I didn't know that. So, but I found that out later. Reading about the film. Found out that he was an adult film star. So, kind of interesting, right? Terrible actor, I thought. But, then again, yeah. Night of the Zombies. That one was terrible. I love the one that Bruno Mattei made. Love that one. This SWAT team gets sent to New Guinea to investigate this factory. It's weird. It's totally goofy and silly, but damn, it's a funny movie. See, Scott says, Gink, what up, dude? Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy's on here quite a bit when he can, when he's not working. Jimmy's on here quite a bit, participating in the show. So, yeah. So kind of a surprise to you, eh, Scott? But Night of the Zombies by Bruno Mattei, good movie. Check it out if you get the chance. Also called Hello of the Living Dead, I think. Something like that. Good movie. Which makes me also think of City of the Living Dead. Also known as, what was it also called? Gates of Hell by Lucio Fulci. Not a masterpiece by any means, but well worth watching for some of the gore effects in it. The teenage girl, literally pukes her guts out in one scene. It is pretty crazy. Sean says, Jimmy, go live. Which I would invite you to go live, but I don't see your camera thingamajiggy by your avatar. Still got to get you on here live, dude. And how is the migraine? Is the wasted lunch helping your migraine go away? Let's see. Jimmy says, "Sup, Mr. Harwig? Shit, I'm home with a friggin' migraine." Yeah, I mean, like a migraine. What goes on with that? I know it's like a really horrible headache, right? But I mean, does it like last for a long time? Is this something that like takes hours to go away? I mean, I don't want to find out through experience. I've heard about them being terrible, but is it something that like can cause you shit for hours? Is that how they work? I don't know. Like I said, I've been lucky enough. My mom used to get them real bad. She used to have a pen, right? Some kind of pen that she could jab herself with that shot some kind of medicine in her to help her. Let's see. Jimmy says it's a fairly good distraction. Well, that's good. Good. See? Wasted lunch is also therapeutic, right? I watched somebody saying, Paul said it was medicine and it didn't help me, and I want to sue him for everything he doesn't have. Well, I'm glad it's helping distract you from that shit. I don't like seeing people hurt. had my fair share of hurting. But, yeah, my mom had a pen thing with a button, right? And then just give herself a shot with some stuff that I guess sort of helped. Scott says, at the shop, my cheap-ass Walmart phone keeps dropping. Ow. Not cool. Not cool. Well, but you're working now, so I'm sure you can, save up some loot and get yourself a nice phone, right? Now, Scott was messaging me earlier talking about how he'd like to go live showing him doing tattoos. I think that would be quite cool. I think that'd be interesting. I think a lot of people would tune in to watch you do tattoos. I think you'd have a lot of people watching that never got a tattoo before, too. There's probably a lot of people out there who are on the fence about getting one, and then they'd watch you doing a tattoo, and they'd be like, it doesn't look so bad, Maybe I'll go, and definitely could bring you some work, right? They see you doing some cool work, and then they're going to be like, well, I want that guy to do my work. Scott says, it's amazing I have the whole world at my fingertips via a handheld computer that I now bitch about because it drops live video while I'm texting. Wow. Yeah, you do. I mean, it's crazy how much power in that little handheld plastic device. You get a better one. I'll tell you what, the first smartphone, speaking of Scott Harwig, is first smartphone I ever saw was Scott had one. I think Scott had one of the first iPhones, I believe. And that was just amazing. It was mind-blowing. He was showing us this phone, and it was just incredible. Jimmy says, depends on intensity. Light and sound sensitivity and an intense pounding in the skull and eyes. Have lost sight in one eye and have tunnel vision in just one eye. Always the right eye for some reason. Seen what looks like spots of light floating around. They pretty much suck balls. Sounds like it. That sounds awful. Losing your damn sight, that's crazy. That's insane. Scott says, I'm going to go live on Instagram when someone comes in. Cool. Yeah, I never thought about Instagram live. Never thought of that. Yeah, I'm just still looking forward to the time when I can do YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I look forward to that. I never tried the Instagram live. Never tried that. I don't know, though. I don't know if people can comment and it pops up. Do you know if it does that? People can do comments, which I'm sure, well, I don't know how much you'd be paying attention to that while you're trying to do a tattoo anyways. So I guess that'd be a distraction if it does. Yeah, never did Instagram live. Jimmy says, have you ever seen Donnie Darko? Yes, I have. It's an oddity. That's an odd one, right? I mean, that is pretty friggin' weird shit there. Scott says, boo on migraines. Scott, you must have had a migraine or two. Davita joins us. Hello, Davita. I hope you're doing fantastic today. Yeah, Donnie Darko was a weird one. Let's see. Scott says, I love Donnie Darko. Why are you wearing that silly human outfit? Oh, gosh. Yeah, that was a bizarre one. I'll put out mainstream, too. That's weird. Weird, because usually stuff that was a risky movie, in my opinion. That was a risky movie. Davita says, I am, Paul. Thanks. I'm glad to hear that. Scott says, Instagram is cool for the tattoos because it's only photos. I like Facebook for friends and family. Cool. Jimmy says, well, there's a scene in it where a tube of time comes out of a guy's chest and moves through his house. That's what it looks like when I lose sight. Weird. That is weird. It's strange, the shit the human mind is capable of doing. Isn't it? It's weird. And it makes you wonder. Is it just weird stuff you're seeing? Or can you see something on a different level? You know what I mean? Maybe you're tuned in to some different plane of existence. You know? Or maybe it's just a bunch of weird shit you use because your head ain't working right at the time. See, Jimmy says at least that's what it looks like through that eye. Weird. Strange. Oh gosh, yeah, I don't want to get a migraine. That sounds horrible. Sounds terrible, man. Terrible. I've gotten some bad headaches. Luckily, knock on wood, yet again, I don't get too many headaches. Not too many. So I've been pretty lucky because I know a lot of people that deal with headaches every damn day. So, just, you take a lot of things for granted until shit goes wrong with you. You know, a lot of shit like, there's a lot of stuff, parts of your body you don't even think about until there's something wrong with it. Jimmy says, well, the way these headaches feel is like to tune the hell out or to another plane or something. Yeah. Jimmy says, I'd not is. Okay, so, well, the way these headaches feel, I'd like to tune the hell out or to another plane or something. So you'd like to go to another plane of existence. Yeah, but did you ever think about that? Did you ever think about that? If our brains are kind of like radios or something, and they're set at a certain frequency. So we pick things up, okay, on a certain channel. But then let's say there are irregularities, maybe chemical imbalances and things like that. And maybe people are able to pick up or tune into signals that the average person can't tune into. You know what I mean? Did you ever think about that? If it's just kind of like that. So like, and it doesn't make sense to you because you're not used to being on that level. I don't know. It's just something weird, I guess, something weird to think about. I don't know. I've thought about that, obviously. But, I see James joins us. What's up, James? I hope things are going great in your neck of the woods, dude. James says, hi. Hello, dude. We're talking about migraines. Yeah, migraines. Jimmy here is experiencing migraines. Scott, apparently, I'm guessing you've had them too, huh? I don't know. Davita, you had migraines before? They sound awful. I'll tell you an awful thing I've had since we're talking about awful things. And I might have already talked about it before, but that's all right because it's true. I had shingles one time on my hands. Shingles. My gosh, those things are painful as shit, man. Awful. So, Jimmy, can you take some kind of medicine for these migraines? I mean, I'm guessing Tylenol doesn't cut it. Tylenol, ibuprofen, shit like that doesn't cut it, I imagine. Do you got a doctor? Do you get some kind of prescription shit you can pop? Or one of them pen deals like I was talking about? Maybe you can get one of them things for your migraines. Scott says, right on about the frequency levels. I thought my last girlfriend's bro was receiving messages from different places. They diagnosed him schizophrenic. Yeah, just wonder. Jimmy says, yeah, I actually been checking out a lot of stuff on mind-altering substances like the Amanita muscaria. Isn't that, yeah, I've read about that. Isn't that a mushroom? I'm not sure. Some crazy shit going on in the science world with MDMA, DMT, LSD, and the like. Yeah, I think, I wonder about that stuff. I wonder if, like the mind altering stuff, if it's just, you get put on, a different level and tune into different things. That's just something I've wondered. Davita says, yes, I have intense headaches that imitate migraines, but probably more severe called, I'm going to try this, all right? Occipital neuralgia, and they last for days. Very painful. Sounds awful. Jimmy says, not really. Excedrin makes a migraine medicine, but not a lot helps. Shit. Sounds terrible. Sounds terrible. Speaking of people being on the different frequencies and stuff, I mean, do a lot of work to tune ourselves into, or there's a lot of work being done to keep people tuned into what's considered the normal levels, right? Davita says no cure. That sucks. It's horrible. Well, I'm sorry that happens to you. Jimmy says fly agaric. Don't know if I'm saying that right. Amanita muscaria is the mushroom in Alice. Okay. That's weird stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's weird. Some people I think are just in tune to things, well, more than others. Like my one sister, she gets these weird premonitions, weird. Davita says they were talking about Botox when you went to pain MG management, but never went through it. Now I have no insurance, so shit. That sucks. Damn, you need some insurance. Jimmy says, and tons of Norwegian children's story and said shroom. Completely legal. Yeah, it's weird. It's weird. I read about theories on the Vikings supposedly using some sort of a hallucinogenic where they go off to raid places and stuff. They kind of get their mojo on. Take some funky shit. Make them feel like $1 million and unbeatable. I don't know if it's true or not. But just about every part of the world has some kind of drugs. Drugs have always been around, Always been around. Always been with us. Always will be. Not saying that's good or bad. I mean, obviously there are lots of good uses for. There's a lot of good drugs that really help people, and that's good. Jimmy says grows wildly like morels and only in symbiosis with certain trees. Huh, that's strange. So it needs certain trees to survive. Jimmy says, yes, that's the fly agaric. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Huh. Weird. It's funny that, okay, there are natural substances in plants and things like that if you were to take them and ingest them as they are, might have a very little effect on you. But once somebody takes it to the lab, they concentrate that, it turns into a different kind of animal, turns into something that could be vile or intoxicating, like what are those, the coca leaves or whatever they make cocaine out of. And like apple seeds and different plants have cyanide in them, but not at deadly levels. But if you were to take that concentrated, of course you're talking deadly poisons. Jimmy says they made a mead out of it that was supposed to be like drinking shitty bitter flavored turds. Sounds horrible. I've had mead before, but it didn't taste like shitty bitter flavored turds, or at least I don't think so, but I've never eaten turds, thank goodness. Jimmy says the Vikings, that is. Huh. Wow, weird. Once again, I think about that shit. Okay, I think about weird stuff like this. Um, okay, I'm part Scottish, part Irish. I'm kind of a mixed breed, I guess you'd say. And I've got some Swedish roots in my family too. And you ever think what your ancestors might have done if it's been passed down genetically? I sometimes wonder if there were some kind of science that ever came about to where they could, this is weird shit, okay, weird shit, but if there were some way that you could find out if memories and stuff are implanted into future generations, like your kids end up maintaining like almost like film negatives, okay, from what you've done ended up being inside of your kid. I know that's wacky shit. Did you ever wonder about shit like that? Wonder about shit like your ancestors might have done if it has an effect on who you are, you know? Because, like Sean gives me that shit all the time, joking around about being a druid or whatever. There's a good chance somebody along my family route or family line was a damn druid, into some weird shit. It's kind of funky, thinking that your ancestors might have done some crazy shit. Jimmy says that's like how we eat the seeds of a fruit that can kill you just from getting the meat of the fruit on you or in your eyes, cashews. And they can only be processed by hand. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was talking about. How, these things that we eat contain deadly shit in them. It's weird. No, I got a little weird when I started talking about that ancestry shit, but I'm telling you, I've wondered weird shit. Jimmy says, that's funny, you don't look Druish. From the planet Druidia. I didn't think I looked Druish, but... Well, yeah, I've wondered about that shit. Ever... I don't necessarily believe in reincarnation, alright, but I just wonder. It'd be pretty funky if they ever found out you could be like hypnotized or something and then find out like what your ancestors have done. Man, imagine the stories, imagine the tales. People used to do some really crazy shit back in the days. Human sacrifices and witch hunting and the wars. I don't know, it's crazy. There'd be a lot of stories to tell. A lot of crazy shit. Just like, most cultures at one time have practiced cannibalism at some point in time, right? Either for actual food or for religious purposes. It's kind of funny. It's kind of weird thinking that, chances are one of your ancestors at one time was eating somebody's ass. That's funky. That's weird shit to me. Like, who was it that sacrificed all them people? Was that the Mayans? Sacrificed like thousands of people? Is that the Mayans? Do I have that right, or am I thinking the Aztec, or should it be the Aztecs? I think the Mayans. I'm not sure. Didn't they sacrifice shitloads of people? Absolutely crazy shit. Jimmy says, well, I gotta try to sleep this shit off. Great show, even though I flooded your feed with a bunch of crap. No, man. Always welcome to. Good day to one and all wasted lunchers. Thank you, Jimmy. Hope you have a great day too, buddy. Good luck with getting rid of this migraine shit. I hope it dissipates for you, buddy. Thanks for being on. Always great to hear from you. Much love and peace to you. Wow. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows what's in the future for us? Who knows what's in the future? You know, my son Vinny he's into physics. Jimmy says, thank you, sir. Not a problem, dude. Not a problem. My son talks about lots of crazy, far out shit, man. He's a smart boy and very curious. He takes these physics classes. My goodness. Shit these kids got to figure out in physics is insane. And he's always reading about science and space. And, I mean, even when he's not in school, he's watching YouTube, learning more shit about space, and, science, mathematics, and all this crazy shit. And it's mind-blowing, you know. Talk about wormholes, and I don't know, man. Black holes. I don't know. Scott, you get into any of that astronomy shit? You into that outer space shit? I don't know, man. It's like I start talking to him about it. He starts telling me this shit, and then it's like my brain just all of a sudden is like, okay, wait, we gotta come back down to earth here, dude. I mean, it just gets a little far out, man. I don't know shit about space. I'd like to maybe pick at my son's brain on wasted lunch, because he knows a lot more about that shit than I do. Or get somebody on here that knows about their space shit, right? Talk to them about it. That'd be cool too. I don't know a whole lot about it. I know it's just mind blowing. You know, some people don't believe we've been on the moon. Scott, what do you think? Do you think we've been on the moon? What do you think about that? Some people don't think we've even been there. And you got people, flat earthers, believe the earth is flat. And there's all kinds of conspiracy theories people talk about. Which I guess would probably be better to talk about another day. Focus strictly on that shit. Let me see. Time is 1:37 under oven standard. I think it's about time for me to sign off. Speaking of mind blowing, it's time for me to get back to doing the stuff that I gotta do that I don't want to do. But anyways, thanks guys for tuning in to Wasted Lunch. Appreciate it. Thank you everybody who's participated. I'm going to sign off here. So look out for your brothers and sisters in the world. Try and spread some love. Stay out of trouble. And I'll see you later.